SOFI update here on the 31st. Huge gain today. Nice earnings report. Noto comes through once again, delivering every single quarter. We're finally starting to see the gains in the stock. So, and honestly, congratulations. If you're still holding this stock and you haven't done covered calls, you haven't sold your shares yet, then you're doing pretty well because it's good tendency for people to sell their shares after they're down for such a long time. You're trained to think that once you get green, you got to get out of the stock. So if you're still in this stock holding the shares, then you're doing pretty well and you're actually a long-term holder. So it's a pretty good job, and I think most people, I would say 3 out of 4 people have probably already sold cover calls or sold some of their shares. So congrats if you're still holding it and you're making big gains. We are up now. We're getting close to almost tripling our 200% since May 16th. So pretty good job there. To say where this is going to go from here, I think that there's two different possibilities. I think that the overall market is going to dip in the next month. So I think that this can be looked at as A, B, C right here, and we pull back, and then we get another move higher after that. That's the first possibility. The one that I like the most is probably the beginning diagonal. I mean, it's not ideal for how this is going to start, but if you look at it on the weekly chart, you can see it pretty well. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth wave higher. The one thing that's kind of tricky about the chart right now, though, is again, we did not go to the 1.61 fib on either the log chart or the regular chart. We came close on the regular chart, but we did not get there. So it's got to be either a beginning diagonal or it's got to be A, pullback, B, C wave higher. Those are the two possibilities, the only two possibilities. So let's go over the first possibility. If this is a fourth wave right here, then we are looking at this move right here. I think this is a nested move because I wouldn't want to see another beginning diagonal right here. It's possible, but this looks like a third wave to me. This retraces to the 0.5 fib, so that's a perfectly fine second wave. And then we get a big move higher, so that's got to be a third wave. So we have 1, 2, 3. I would look for a small pullback potentially tomorrow, but we have not hit the 1.61 fib. We came very close today. The 1.61 fib is sitting around 1186. So we came very close to it. Here, let me go to the log chart. We came very close to it. We did not get there. 1180 actually. So I see this as a nested third wave here, which could potentially go all the way up to 12 to 13 bucks. And then I would look for a pullback after that. So let's say we go to 1250. Pull back to 1126. And we could see 13, 14 bucks before it's all said and done for this fifth wave. It makes sense if you look at the length of all these right here. Let's go to the regular on this. So the length of the first wave, let's add that to the bottom here. And actually we hit that today. So that right there tells me this could be a fourth wave here, and maybe I'm looking at this wrong. So it's either a 5-wave move completed today on the regular chart, or if it is on the log chart, then we are looking at this as a nested third wave. So I guess I don't really have a preference. It would be another diagonal right here. That's why I said a nested move makes a lot of sense. Plus, I think we should be going higher overall over the next week or two. So we'll have to watch and see what this does from here. If it did top out today, then we're looking at a pretty sizable pullback here soon. Let's zoom in here on the 5-minute time frame and just get a look. So this is a pretty big move lower. So it could be a wave 1 of a move lower. So if it did top out today, then that means that 5 waves is complete. And if that is the case, then we would be starting a ABC move lower to probably like $8, $8 to $7, $7, $8. So again, it's pretty unclear, but on the regular chart, we did match the length of the first wave right here. So it is potentially finished if this is a 5-wave move. But if it's a nested move, we're going to 13, 14 bucks. So that's the first possibility. There's also the possibility that this is an expanded flat. This could also be something like that, in which this is a B wave. If that's the case, then we're probably looking at a month or two of back down here to the bottom of the 4th wave, which it wouldn't be a 4th wave at that point. It would end up being a B wave, and then we would get a bigger move after that. So this is actually more bullish. It's about the same, I guess. This would probably be quicker though. If it ends up being a 5th wave here, the 2nd wave will take a lot longer. But if it's a C wave down to here, then we're probably looking at a move that could take us all the way up to 13, 14 bucks on the regular chart, on log chart up to 17, 18 bucks. So those are the two possibilities I see. But again, on the smaller time frames, it's really hard to get an exact target. And also, here's another thing to look at too. Standard deviation. This is really helpful for me on a lot of stocks now. For instance, on Disney, I use this. Disney on the weekly chart is at the very bottom of the 2 standard deviations below the mean. Right now, we are above 2 standard deviations on the daily. On the weekly, we're at the very top of the range as well. We're outside of it. So regardless of what we are doing here with all the different possibilities, I would be very cautious here. If you've got good gains, you don't necessarily have to sell your shares, but selling covered calls at this point when you're 2 standard deviations above the mean is a pretty good practice, I think. And then also you could buy some protective puts. A few different ways you can play it, but again, we are getting close to probably a significant correction, I would think. Even though they put out good earnings, there's probably going to be a rug pull within the next month or two, I would think. So again, ABC, in which we'd probably come down here for a B wave, or we're looking at the 5-wave move either ending here or a little bit higher between 12, 13 bucks most likely. And besides that, if you want to go on smaller time frames and try to guess, you can do that. I've done that, and it's kind of hard to read. We can even look at it right now. Just take a look. This could be a 4th wave and get another move higher, or it could be the start of a significant correction. Now we have gaps all below as well. Obviously, we have a gap now at 960. There's all kinds of gaps in this chart now. We have a gap down here, $6. We're not going to hit that one anytime soon, but the main one obviously is from the earnings earlier today. So I'll leave it at that. I see an ABC move that could potentially take us to 13, 14 bucks. 5-wave move is either complete here, or we get a little bit more upside to 12 to 13 bucks most likely, and then a significant correction down to 7, 8 bucks. So be cautious up here, but play it right. Covered calls are perfectly fine right now with how far we are out of these standard deviations. Anyway, that's all I got for today. We'll see which one plays out. I'll give you another update here in the next couple of days. Make sure you like the video for more content, and subscribe if you're not. If you like the content, I do market updates pretty much every day, and I do SOFI usually like once, twice a week. And I'll leave it at that. Have a good night. Congratulations on the gains.